So we have the myth. I would say we have the myth, the legend, but the man and a myth. He's real, but the legend, not only in the car fraternity, but also a legend in the Antigua Grammar School.
Me tell you.
Listen, you have people that to this day till like ask, you know, who is this Kodie? So your name transcends generations, bro.
Well, it's a good thing.
Yeah, no, very good.
So
thing.
much people meet me and say Carson. I almost forget my name, Kodie.
Well, you know, you definitely know what part they know you're from. My brother, what's up? Welcome to Displacement Podcast, Antigua Streetz in the building.
Finally.
Just
I say finally.
killer.
No, I say finally, man. Remember Army Connect when I'm in there.
True. Yo, you remember we had that legendary footage without audio. What was it?
Drag last year.
Legendary drags last year.
Me tell you, boy.
Some
good
dope
footage, you know.
Some very good footage, some very good interviews.
Boy. We don't have to salvage on, but we can find a way to salvage on.
No, you
it
just
has
have
to
it.
be with.
Nah.
Even if I do some picture and vice.
Listen, I think.
Yo, you know what? I think we should probably do maybe a voiceover.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And just do them. And just release some still.
And still
He's-
release it.
I still want to release it though. I mean,
Yeah.
it kind of blurry, but the content, I think,
The content
is most
is important.
important.
Content
yeah.
is very important because there are things that happen on that day
Yeah,
that you guys captured.
yeah,
That
and
is
you can't-
nowhere
yeah.
else.
That's true.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
And the people, and they
So-
might even connect with them people again
know,
as well too.
At
So,
least the audio, I could look at the footage and tell exactly what we were talking about at the exact same time.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I can even do voice over. So for real, I can do that then.
I can make that happen.
So I can probably piece them up and then send them to you, and then you can just watch them and then talk them and then just send them to them. Fair. The man behind Antigua Streetz or one of the man behind Antigua Streetz.
And there we go.
So give a brief history or give us a brief history of Antigua Streetz. This is the first time you have done
A history
actual.
of Antigua Street.
Boy.
Officially.
No.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so
Over the years,
Yeah.
probably like for radio, for TV, for magazines
Yeah.
and stuff. But
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah.
the first official on a podcast.
alright.
All right.
Well, this
So-
is the first official podcast in Antigua that's about cars.
So
well, too.
basically,
And it only makes sense that it's the first time Agatha gets in the studio.
That's
Are
the
you?
truth. Oh yeah, you're the
Alright,
first. You're
makes
first
sense.
guest. That's the truth.
makes
But
sense.
give us a history about Antigua Streetz. I mean, how the name come about? Who came up with the idea?
You know, it's so weird that we have so much track coverage now, right?
Yeah.
But the reason behind Antigua Streetz was really because it was only street coverage we had at the time. We had one truck, John I, and it was locked at that particular time.
Right.
There was no way for you to access information on what type of cars we had, what they were doing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the street scene, because we had a lively underground scene from Bethesda to Crabs. To,
Yeah, boy.
There was a live scene, no coverage, and you know, I felt like we were just behind or left out. So
That's it.
just started to grab the camera. Big shout out, rest in peace, Bertram.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Fuck.
boy.
Because Bertram
Legendary.
was our very first. He came in to help out.
Yeah.
His email address, I'll never forget, was Antigua Streetz photog at hotmail.com. So I started
Oh,
to
gee.
do pictures and videos, and then
Send it to him.
he started to do the same, and we started to do
Right.
the watermark and stuff like that. And well, at that same time as well, the track was on and off. Like different people would go and
Do the
try
things.
to get the track open.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? And it just so happened we have legendary drags now, but before then we had like what you would refer to as a Caribbean World Cup.
Yes, we remember that.
So there was something similar to what we do now as legendary drags.
Yeah.
There was something similar back then, and that was happening in Trinidad, and all them
Yeah,
came
I
over.
remember that.
And so Antigua Streetz took off basically because now we were there from the street, and then things
Yeah.
started to pick up again where there was a track, and bingo, we just kept running with it. Of course, let's see, we had John I
Yeah.
kicking.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Caribbean Motorsports. I think that should be the name of it.
Yeah, I remember Caribbean Motorsports.
Stuart Young, I think is his name.
Yeah.
And their whole team and so
Yeah,
on. They
yeah,
used to
yeah,
do
yeah.
some very nice car shows. Airport parking lot.
Yeah.
Right.
Down at that hotel, Jolly Harbor parking lot.
Yeah.
And then of course they had Al Mills
Yeah, boy.
Those are some like really nice glory days, you know. And so we had coverage from everything throughout that entire period.
On the forum.
And then before Facebook, there was AntiguaStreetz.com.
I remember that.
You would go to sleep and your whole you would stay at that green and black screen so much, right? That if you blink green and black. Listen to me, true story. Companies in Antigua to enable their workers, employees to be productive.
Black
They
Antigua
had to
Street.
block AntiguaStreetz.com. Block.
Yo, and you know it's funny, y'all forward thinking now, because in this space right now, you know how much companies, how much money ad revenue you have to get just so Antigua
tell you.
Streetz up
And
running.
you know what? It's so funny that you say that because we treat it so much as like not work.
Yeah.
More like a hobby.
Yeah.
Still having fun.
Right.
That's why that never happened, because we started to say, look, if we started to do this and
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
then
yeah,
it's
they're
not
not
going to-
business.
It's no longer going to be a hobby.
Yeah,
It's going to be work.
Yeah.
And then you don't want to treat your hobby like work, but you know, in the end, it really should have went that way.
That's true. So who so apart from you and Bertrand, who were the other members of say Antigua Streetz?
So I'll tell you how it really went.
Yeah.
06, October 17th, can never forget.
Yeah.
That's when I created that page on High Five.
Oh.
High
Hold
five.
on.
Remember
Cody.
high five,
Let's
boy.
be clear here, right?
Every inform the young.
Yo, no, that's cool, man. That's cool, man. Listen. Let's be clear, bro. We hear about Antigua Streetz, not for sure our age. And then even go back so far with the high five business boss. What you tell man about high five?
The man forget the start.
Right?
Day one.
Yeah,
Literally
really
gotta
show
give
age
you
for you
this
know.
on October 17th, can never forget. On a Windows 95,
Jesus Christ.
right?
Sure, yo, man, embarrassed one.
And created that page.
Yeah.
And just started to just upload content.
Right.
And of course, that allowed me to network. You can never forget to shout out Robert Hall, Damian Mussington, Ashley Rhodes,
Yeah.
Michael Joshua. And I probably could keep going. as long as the memory-
Anton a different car crew right now in Antigua. Your car right.
Yeah, like back then.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah,
And they were able to help put together, like, they were moderators.
Okay,
So
get
they
you.
allowed us to control somewhat what was going on and allowed the network to grow, because everyone came from a different part of the island.
Right.
So it was perfect just to groom the network and get a fabulous start, I guess. Tell you what,
Check.
when we left from High Five,
Yeah.
the website was created in 2007. And that became life in itself. I hate to put it that way, but literally,
It took on a life of its
what
own.
people know now, you get your updates for traffic accidents from WhatsApp.
Yeah. That used to be Antigua Street.
Back then-
That's facts.
And it was Antigua Streetz.
Facts.
The
Still
Daily
thing.
Observer,
Facts.
and fact check me anytime,
No, facts. That's
would
facts.
have had to get photographs
From Antigua Street.
from Antigua Streetz because it was
Facts.
already there.
Facts.
True.
Because it used to be on real
Instant. That was the first real
True.
instant place of
Because
information.
everybody been plug in.
Yeah, the
Anything
community, man.
automotive.
The community
True.
in deep, man.
Of course, big shout out to Rocket Science Racing and Habib and so, because Habib allowed us to get some prime coverage when they were working on the R35, the Godzilla.
Yes.
When they were building it, and
They
it
did,
ended up
the AMS.
breaking the world record
Yes.
over at AMS. Ended up breaking the world record for the half-mile run.
Yeah.
And because Antigua Streetz was the only place you could find a documented build on that project, the world had to tune in to AntiguaStreetz.com.
Yo.
You're talking
Kodie.
literally.
Bro.
We used to have a hit counter
Give
that
me
we could
five.
see how much people
Give me
were
five.
online at the same time. Sometimes 132,000
Give me
people
$5, no?
online.
You lucky you just show him money. What?
At
Yo.
the same time, we were just there. You
Nah,
know?
that's crazy. Bro.
No,
And,
that-
and that's a time where the internet
Yeah,
just
I mean,
barely
if
exists,
you
you know?
got 100,000 people back then,
Online at the same time,
I mean,
scrolling for
back
information
then,
because
bro.
we could.
you bigger than CNN.
No,
As just as much as big as.
no man.
I'm sure some local
we
media
used to
never
check,
even
we
see
used to
the
check
numbers.
the world rank for
Yeah,
website, and I think we went all the way down to 107,000 most used website.
Yeah.
So
I mean-
sounds like a lot, but really in the world,
That on top spot.
You can go and say you want to say me that.
That on top spot.
I'll accept that right now.
That's a big
The
spot.
position
That's a big
right now,
spot.
but that's
Yeah.
the position right now.
And then of course, started to slowly integrate into Facebook.
Right.
And before Facebook had groups, it was just, transferring links from our website to Facebook to
Right.
visitors from Facebook to
come
check.
on, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Grab the
And
traffic.
then after a while, the world just, like you're seeing now, it's gradually going from Facebook to IG, which is Instagram,
Yeah.
over to TikTok for younger
Everywhere,
viewers.
to trend.
To, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you don't keep up, just information.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were saying the transition happened from the internet, from website to Facebook.
From website to Facebook, and that was over a period because the website held its own maybe from 2007
Yeah.
to 2010,
Okay.
I'd say.
Good
Right.
one.
Good run.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things used to be was who made pick of the week.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
if you're like a real OG following AntiguaStreetz.com, who made pick of the week
Yeah.
that week, trust me, you gonna be it. You know what I mean? And just good vibes all around,
Nice.
True.
And still another good way just to post local content and get it out there as best as possible.
All right, that's good. Now, nice to go brief history of Antigua Streetz. For you personally, what got you into like cars in general? Then, what was your first?
So,
What's your first?
Me remember in grammar
encounter
school, then
with
claim
cars?
say Kodie buying turbo before you get the car.
Yeah, that's correct.
So that's a real manifestation.
That's correct.
Yeah,
That's correct.
manifest that.
Yeah, that's correct.
Hey, I can't afford the turbo.
Oh, big shout out to Clem over at Hani Motors. Clem actually bought that turbo for a Subaru, so Clem can attest to that. Clem,
Clem, I'm not selling your turbo.
Clem,
I'm cool,
no,
man. Selling the turbo.
Clem didn't sell me no. I sold Clem that
you
turbo
Oh, so you ordered your turbo from overseas?
from overseas.
Oh,
Wow.
come in, say somebody in Antigua wiki for selling your
No,
turbo.
no. Clem said, "Where you get this?" And asking me the specs and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know everything.
Legit.
So what was your first encounter? Like you were like, all right, cool. From now on, this is the part.
Well,
This is the part.
you know what happened? I have uncles that were into it,
Okay.
and
okay, enough.
their body shops that we used to hang out at.
Yeah.
That was all they spoke about. Cars.
Mm.
And then of course there's a bus driver that is well known right now, Marvin
Yeah.
Burton.
Yeah.
Mm.
He had a green Toyota Tercel at the time.
Okay.
Old school, probably like a 93 model.
Right.
And his vision was to put a turbo Starlet 4EFT 1300 motor into it.
Inside, yeah.
And yeah. So I'm saying, boy, why you want that? Why don't just buy a turbo Starlet? You say, we want to be different. But that was my real bridging at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I wanted to watch street race or so on, that would be the person that would make me get the
Right,
opportunity,
right.
or my uncles and stuff. But I would hang with Marvin more.
Nice.
So in other words, you can say, Marvin bossed me then.
Pause.
Yeah, pause. You check?
Marvin, introduce you to
Marvin, all right, sorry. Marvin introduced me. You know?
Hey,
Come
pause,
on,
but-
grammar school,
You're right. Yo.
What was the first guy ever buy? Listen, man, I ask you how much guy ever buy.
No, it's not easy. It's a Celica.
The first guy ever
A Celica?
inherited the
Yeah,
Celica?
that was a Celica.
Yeah? But that wasn't your first car though.
No, it wasn't my
And what the first guy ever inherited?
Corolla.
Alright, so I can skip
So
the next question.
Yeah,
What guy-
it's
what guy-
Toyota.
Toyota.
Toyota. But it's so weird, right? But we're going to get to that. we have to clear up the early part first.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
I gotta clear up.
Yeah, we're clearing up the early part.
So Toyota Celica color.
Celica,
Mm-hmm.
navy blue,
Factory.
factory. Completely factory.
What the first modification you did to it?
Well, you want me to get a joke?
You go ahead.
I was a child, so nothing, absolutely nothing.
So how long you have them stuck for? But like how long? Like
until it was sold,
whoa.
gone.
If you could get that back now.
Who would not buy that? Yeah, like it was a regular
Yeah.
and not a GTS.
Okay.
No man, understand.
If it was a GTS,
camera.
you can just imagine.
Yeah.
And we believe one of the reasons why that was sold so quickly is because I had no license at the time,
Right.
and the complaints kick up that I went to Bethesda to. Anyway,
Bethesda.
yeah.
So that's leading to.
So then for my own safety.
I get rid of it.
Yeah.
But a good segue because we ask, what were the first? That's the first guy ever raced then?
That was the first car.
Win or lose?
Win.
On that you tell out.
No, I had more experience. So there's advantage.
What the car be? What the car be that you bang off?
Yeah, me hope that you didn't ask the question.
So I'm gonna let that day. Okay, I'm gonna let
You win.
So on to the next question. Next question we have: What are your top 3 iconic moments in motorsports and car culture in Antigua?
We highly doubt we can answer that question.
Little Tokyo for be one.
Well, in terms of iconic events,
Yeah. For you.
for me,
Yeah.
Like, what you say the top 3? Like,
Tuna Bash changed the whole game that you can say. So much people would do what they call a rally or drive around the island. Like maybe they're not so certain or sure where that came from.
Right.
Tuna Bash, which was designed, and big up Super Diamond as well.
Yeah.
It was actually designed to keep the car community together.
Vibes.
Roti King boys, they've like rolled together.
Yeah.
Island crews by themselves.
Remember them guys, yes?
Team Sickheads,
Right, remember Sickheads?
they have rolled together by themselves.
Thanks.
But Tuna Bash was the first time everybody came together under one umbrella.
What year that maybe?
07. Under one umbrella, just to vibe together as a car community and show how strong the car culture was in Antigua. That was just something epic. When the police would allow us to burn out around the island.
Then
Imagine being escorted by the police force and they're allowing you, when you get to a particular village,
you can do a burnout.
you could do a burnout right here.
Go ahead.
Hot up the spot. People line up in every village knowing your route.
Yeah.
And just, just to see the expression on everybody's face. Tuna Bash will forever go down as an iconic and legendary event. Forever.
Nice.
Vibes.
Up to this day. You can just hear people like, yo,
Would it
when
be
the Tuna
something
Bash,
that-
when
yeah,
the Tuna Bash, but
Yeah.
Think the days are done?
well, the days are not done because a lot of people do the same kind
True.
of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a
But
lot of rallies.
I wouldn't do it again personally.
Yeah. The
I-
planning and all them.
Well, not really the planning. I just think that we don't have the kind of control that we did back then.
Get you.
Yeah.
Kind of respect for the road and so.
Yeah.
I don't think that's there. And the last thing we want to do is
Encourage
get blamed
that,
for
True.
you know what I mean? Things are so different now. You gotta tread careful on certain things, you know what I mean? So
Makes sense.
that
Okay, so that Tuna Bash, that's one. Little Tokyo, that's two. What about any?
well, you say Little Tokyo, right?
Yeah.
Little Tokyo is the same as Tuna Bash, but just at your park.
Park.
Right,
Alright,
right.
cool.
Basically,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Because the
you
car
understand?
don't come
Because
out.
it was
all
actually
the cool them come.
it was actually designed again
Right.
for just everybody to chill
yeah.
under one umbrella, and we would try our best to bring foreign photographers, videographers, and so on,
Right.
just to get the coverage out to different parts of the world and just let them see what Antigua has to offer. So that's
True.
Little Tokyo.
True.
But then, of course, you'd have the Wadadli Honda Day,
Honda
the
Day.
Wadadli,
Toyota
which,
Day.
of course, just so y'all know,
Yeah.
Let me hear.
2010, Wadadli Honda Day made it into the Honda Tuning magazine. Article written by me. Torres Joseph did the photos. It was actually submitted by Randy Candy.
Dude, makes sense why the man
see
are
how-
big journalist.
See how the network, right?
I mean,
And that was the only island
Yeah.
that had an event that was covered and showcased in the Honda Tuning magazine, which is no more, so that can never be broken. That can never happen again by no other island.
Matter of fact, you had the article with the article.
I have the entire magazine framed.
I'm not surprised.
Come on.
You know,
I'm not surprised.
There's a picture that
You know?
that you're right.
Big shout out to them guys from Honda Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a strong movement back then. The Toyota Day event
Yeah.
was showcased in the Toyota Gazette that is shared amongst every Toyota dealership. Our local Antigua Toyota Day, that Toyota meet, was showcased, printed and showcased, sent around to every
Question. Toyota Day, Honda Day. Bird from Antigua Streetz.
Yeah.
So, he right for call you, essentially, you're like the culture god for motorsport.
No,
I think.
Yo, the man
just say
the man are
culture,
good,
some,
Serious.
but anything but God, but culture.
No, I can't say like a
Yeah.
so you don't have a different level of respect.
Yeah,
You know,
true.
The man are good, boss.
The goat. You're the goat.
Yo,
But listen,
Serious.
I outline the questions, all right? And again, this is not gonna be a one-time thing, so I don't want to make it seem too formal. But you said some things that kind of spark the interest. So if you can do that, right? Back from since 2007, come all the way up down to 2020.
that says 06 actually.
06, come all the way up to 2020. You have all these iconic moments, right? We know just getting into, following
just that.
Antigua's people are just that. Seeing iconic moments, right? Noticing now that tourism are our main industry. And we have things that being shared all. At what point do you think they acknowledge the fact that motorsports should be a part of this whole package that ourselves
Officially.
as tourism?
This question, right, is a tricky question. We'll tell you
So
why.
hold on, wait. More for now. What kind of answer you give me? You can give me the PC answer. I can give me the unfiltered answer. Think about what you got. See, because
I don't. You see. That's why me like doing these kind of interviews. You understand? One, I do not need to speak standard English the entire way.
Facts.
You understand? Perfect.
Yes.
I'm only doing this for the persons that you have viewing,
International audience.
international audience,
Well,
and
me
I'm
personally-
making sure that they understand clearly what's happening here.
Yeah.
Right.
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 Alright,
Now, that question, I'll tell you why it is tricky. Because I can't say that the Ministry of Tourism
Yeah.
has never done nothing.
Oh no, I can't say that either.
Yeah,
we
fair
can't
enough,
say that
'cause
either.
we-
can't say
Yeah,
that
you
either.
guys can attest to
No,
that,
no, no.
and
But
I can
know-
attest to that.
But we know it's so much not just tourism.
It's-
It's bigger than tourism.
bigger than tourism.
Because
True.
until have infrastructure have to come into place,
Right.
finance have to come into place. So it's a lot of ministries have to come into place.
What I find that it is, because it is not taken seriously, I find it is more, all right, guys, them people make some nice. I think it is only right that this year I'll do this for them.
No, but listen, Kodie, and that's where I think things kind of get tricky, right? Because if you just look for the noise, the community big, bro. We did an interview with Paul Rippin, bro. One cano. If you accumulate all the money that was spent on one cano, Kodie, within a span of 2 to 3 years now, you look for 5 decent 4-bedroom studio apartments.
Easily.
Cash money, no.
Easily.
So you're saying from a making nice standpoint, and the community massive in Antigua. I'm
community-
talking about just from a financial standpoint, how much money people spend on
True.
their car.
That's just one part of the tourism aspect, but we're going to cover it because, again, when you're doing these types of interviews, right, we already take off from a spot that we could really get deep into.
True,
We
true.
just really glanced over it.
Yeah.
That 06, 07 time period.
I'm not trying for,
You know?
for cars to
Yeah.
put the
Because
I just want people to
may
think.
tell you, like, if we really drilled deep down into that time period, we unlock a whole different. It's almost like we could stay here all night discussing just the
But I can bring you on again, though.
how everything just meshed together to bring us over into where we are now for today.
Yeah.
Right.
But like, I'll tell you why I mentioned that period.
Yeah.
Do you remember college drags?
Me remember cause me day.
Me don't go by
No.
that. Me don't go by that.
Me day.
Just and trust me, the reason why I mentioned it now, because we look over and say, okay, he mean it.
Yeah.
Me day.
Me don't go now for that.
Me till try find the footage. Cause me got the only camera.
The only camera.
Stop it stupidness.
The bodybuilder, the only female racing that there was Kimberly
Ephraim.
which is now Percival
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
She was the only female racing in a Toyota 11.
Yes.
Jermaine Rudd, who is now a lawyer now,
BMW.
was
Facts.
racing a BMW.
Yes.
Yeah,
I was there racing a Nissan Irvan
Yes. Remember,
in college.
I'm got
I was at 40
2.5
Marshall with the Mirage.
15 seater.
50 seater.
I may bang people for real
We got a Vitara.
with the Vita. You understand? Jay, the owner at the time,
Remember.
came and shut it down. There
I
was
remember.
so much people there.
Remember that.
That is was officially Antigua Street's first event. Think about it. Think about it. Because we
crazy.
broke into the track.
Remember that. Can't lock power now.
Hold on. How much years that maybe?
Enough time gone.
We
That's
broke
limitation,
into
God.
the track
Remember that.
to settle arguments that happened on the
Yabba.
corridor.
Yeah, but can I ask you?
Yabba,
Levin.
with the
Yabba,
orange
Levin.
Levin.
Orange Levin.
He the first mama ever
All
know
right.
that how on
It's just so weird that 2023 I'm still sitting here. So that means the passion is not when you see
Yeah,
the
dead.
displacement podcast is not something that man's create overnight. The
Facts.
passion was not just there yesterday.
Ah.
Literally involved in
You remember
tune
that lady?
right
Like yesterday?
there. Yo,
So why we
Epic.
keep missing? That's the question. Though you can answer the question because you're in the culture. Because for me personally, let me just say this right quick. We just that small experience. I don't know try for see how I can do it. So now have a conversation with you and hear the history. I'm like, yo, bro, I best I just do a little podcast and just push out our content, keep it pushing.
No,
and
you
try
don't- you just-
stop trying to climb the mountain.
No, you don't-
Kodie and can
not
get over that
really.
hump there, bro.
Well, no, you can't say that because different people have a different network.
That's true. That's true.
And-
That's true.
Different keys open different doors.
Facts,
Right?
facts.
So you may open a door that we never had that opportunity. So
True.
keep at it.
Okay, fair
That's really because guess what? All the time I've been going north
Yeah.
and I'm referring to the US.
Right.
Yeah.
But you guys
go Europe.
went Europe.
True.
That heavy.
True.
So maybe the next generation behind him will go Japan.
You understand?
So
Japan perform
But
my
not in the- you
So how
understand?
about 2 or 3 generations?
And of
before I
course,
get
you
it?
guys did the interview with Ripon, who went to
Facts.
Japan.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
That's
Paul
where
went.
that's where we got some of our information about where to go and shop and stuff like that. It came
that's
from
true, that's
from
true,
Paul.
that's true, yeah, that's true.
You know, so and
Very-
of course Australia is big on that list. You know what I mean?
for JDMs as well. Yeah.
because there's a whole other culture down
Culture
there that
down
we'd
there
like
as
to
well, too.
experience.
Facts.
I'm sure if we put our heads together, there are a whole bunch of people that would like to come to Antigua just to visit. Because that's all I do. I just look, watch, trying to see who
Networking.
can make it to Antigua.
Makes sense.
Who can we show Antigua to?
Right.
And who is that person that when we show them Antigua, they will showcase it the way we want it to be seen.
True.
Because you could show people Antigua and their way of showing what they see is not the way we want
Right.
to portray
That's
it.
not how people
That's
see
true.
No.
Antigua.
So I need to control the narrative pretty much.
I wouldn't even say control the narrative, but we want what we want out there.
Facts.
Out there.
Makes sense.
You well
It makes
traveled, right?
sense.
You're well traveled, right? We've been to a few events as well too. And when you go and compare, you see what Antigua have to offer, bro. It's like having done this podcast with both Az and Killer, you realize how much gems and unique cars that are in Antigua, limited edition cars that man just have.
They got
parked
an car that me
store.
hunt down. I know Kodie know it because they say Kodie know every car there. I want
Lord.
every car come in.
Back in the day. Back in the day.
Yo, Antigua Street does be the hub for what car touch.
Me
island,
remember
man.
when good partner the FL touch a grog and the caption. You never take no picture.
Took a video.
Someone take a video.
The picture?
Yeah, the boss said don't take any pictures. Let me just take a video instead.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
let's go, man.
And so everything I touched down, Kodie, Antigua Streetz, got it.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I like and you know we really respect are that anyway Kodie go in Antigua, it don't matter. Once the somebody know about car or bicycle, they know Antigua Streetz.
That's good.
Remember this Antigua, look at Tokyo. When I see them fellas bringing a low rider bicycle, I say yes. I say yes, because they're on the street.
And guess what? I have to big up Headless 268 bikers.
Oh, them
Yeah.
So we
Yeah,
follow
man.
them and they follow us and
Because they have been like slowly transforming the
That's
bike
true.
community
in terms of
perfectly.
safety and,
Well,
something
all
like that.
aspects, and in
That's
terms
true.
of getting the right kind of events
Right.
circulated around the two-wheel culture. Well, I say two-wheel culture, but of course they still
Yeah,
have
quads and stuff.
quads, etc.
Because that's the first. Them are the first crew that I see with bikers. Maybe I might not be.
Also,
privy
there's
to it.
268 riders. They have
Exactly.
Phil. Phil has
But
been
no,
around
them
for a
guys-
while,
them
but
guys always have on them like them full gear when they
Full
go.
gear, yeah.
True,
right.
true.
and the different camps and so on, a bit different
man.
riders and so on. They actually taught me more about bikes than I knew personally. Just being around them, they taught me I could look at bikes now and tell year models from face, size of engine, etc.
Right.
And I learned that through Headless. So that's why I try my best to big them up all the time, because now we're very versed in the bike culture just
True.
because of them.
True.
Yeah, man.
And I think as well too in Antigua Streetz you just cover a lot of cars as well too. So
Yeah.
I believe them man feel like get left out.
Well,
sometimes.
actually, I used to cover bikes and cars.
yeah.
And then I stopped putting that much bike content so I could force you to go to Headless 268
Nice.
bikers.
okay.
Alright, just
So like
support
Yellow
bikers,
broke the
yeah.
record. I put it on Antigua Streetz because it is that big of a feat.
Right.
But the
Yeah,
bike
yeah.
races and so on,
Yellow,
I'll put some, but most of that content you go to the Headless page
Makes
so that
sense.
you could get that. Or the 268 riders
And
page.
facts, shout out to Yellow as well too. Soon, hopefully we get him in here as well too.
I'll go try to get
Yeah, man.
everybody.
Well, Yellow is an
Yellow
easy
cool, so
person.
yeah,
Yellow
yeah.
is an easy person to get in
Yeah.
here, you know what I mean? Before you go, you
Yeah,
asked
go
me a question earlier.
Yeah.
So I probably should, you know, because what you're gonna hear is about me.
Yeah.
Right.
Dinell was in school at the time. Dinell was away
Yeah.
in university. So when Dinell came back, I think Dinell probably came back like 2012,
Yeah.
somewhere around there. I was doing everything by myself for the most part. Of course, I had friends, help from friends and so
Right,
on.
right.
Yeah.
But Dinell came on board in 2012. And when Dinell came on board, Dinell said, okay, you know what? We're going to have to build a little team. So Anton came in and handled like the social media,
Right,
the
right.
creations and so on. And, you know, so kind of just split up the tasks so that I could focus more on other things, you know what I mean? Go around and talk to people and,
Right,
and get
right.
stuff going. And that's how everything came to be. Big shout out to Goofy, because last year Goofy Kamal, Sempervirens, you know we go.
Yeah.
Goofy came and gave a big hand last year as well. You know what I mean? Them runs that I couldn't make, Goofy was able to fit them in and make
How
them
big
happen.
the team be now?
So the team is like a 4-man deep, right?
Okay.
But realistically, if I was to say the team is really bigger than that now, because we rely on everybody now.
The whole community.
We really rely on everybody. That's why you always seem like, yo, we get so much done. But realistically, no, I don't get so much done now. It's everybody kind of just pooled together. And you might find, all right, big up Total, that are young and stupid.
Right.
Total will, all right, you know, fill in here and there. Big up them guys from around south, the Kings Autobody, etc.
Right.
Them I will, Tyrone, and them I will like submit here and there, let me know what's going on here and there, you know what I mean?
Right,
Same
right.
thing with Buju and Bishop and them, Cops Cross,
Cops
English
Cross,
Harbour,
KKL.
Binny and so on, Jerome, Chinese Man, etc. And you start get information here and from everywhere, Buffy and them over in Payers, then they have Setons with what used to be Team 503,
Right.
with them and Venom Racing, etc.
Yeah.
You know, so as you start going around and people, you start networking and the information gets a lot easier. And that's how it really works. So the team is really everybody. That's really, the Antigua Streetz is everybody.
No,
Everybody.
for real. Even us as well too. My text and claiming that. No,
Yeah, I mean, no, same thing, for real. Because guess what? You guys came in, did your interviews.
yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Actually, Antigua Streetz help our channel for good because that's where.
No, well, I mean, of course, I'm going to reshare and repost because
Yeah,
I find whenever I do that, I'm able to help all the other pages build. So that's the fastest and best way. So we're gonna just keep doing it until,
facts.
you know what I mean?
That's why I'm glad that we have you as our first guest, because realistically when we started the page it was just the three of us, and then our first major event that we did was Antigua Streetz, and then from that everybody just like it just like
Yeah.
it
I
just, like,
guess
shot
what
off.
would have happened if you guys didn't do those interviews or got that kind of coverage? It wouldn't have existed.
That's true.
Think about that for a second.
Documented
True.
forever.
I'm
True.
in a parking lot. I'm just walking up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, trying
Nah,
to,
you make
you know
a
what I
lot-
mean?
you make a
Like
lot
just
time
got
for it, man.
and to film and do that. That's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So little
Beyond me.
Joe, Antigua Streetz. What's next on the horizon for Antigua Streetz?
I can
And
tell you.
again, I don't want to seem like I already try for, you know, but again, this is a place that you're gonna be a reoccurring guest. As far as I'm
No,
concerned,
that's fine.
as
I mean-
far as I'm concerned, I can call this the Displacement X Antigua Streetz podcast.
No, you're safe. You're safe. I mean, everybody
Even
here
I
like
can
brothers
tell,
now.
Yeah, I can tell you I
So-
forget it on Skype and anything that I can get.
Yeah, I like to say everybody here like brothers. So
Well,
the
yeah,
very easy for me to just jump in and
Which
Let's-
you've done many times.
yeah, many times like
Like
busy
somebody-
and they say, yo, boy,
somebody-
we did,
somebody
you know what I mean? I'm
lost
like, yo, guess what? Let's do it.
Yeah,
you know what I
somebody
mean?
lost the idea, you know.
And somebody lost the audio.
but what's next? So what's the next iteration?
So I
of
could tell you
Antigua Streetz, yeah?
there is an event that has eluded us for a while.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's an event, but it's really something that needs to be done that we wanted to always have.
Yeah.
Because I've written it like since maybe 07, 08.
Okay.
Facts.
So we've like given back to charities and so on
Yeah.
Right.
over the years, different stuff.
Sure.
Some mentioned, some not mentioned. But we wanted to do a toy drive
Okay.
that included all the car clubs, not Antigua Streetz is doing a presentation
Yeah.
Right.
and take the credit,
Facts.
because the presentation is going to come from the Antigua and Barbuda motorsports enthusiasts, the
Right, the
entire community,
Everybody.
That's where that donation is coming
And all
from.
of them
That
have
leave
kids
no
too, so-
child behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was always something that we needed to get done. And this year is the year that I really wanted it to happen. There are two companies I know for sure that are on board,
Right.
and others that are very much willing to come forward and make it happen. It just needs to be done correctly. Because if it's not done correctly, then it won't have the impact that it needs to have.
Makes sense.
And that's it. So
And on that note, where to say are your proudest moment thus far? Building Antigua Streetz between 06 and now. What the moment that gave the most joy when you think back here? I'm glad that we do this one.
Apart from the two, the Honda and the
well,
Toyota moment.
tell you what, events in themselves,
Mhm.
those are done just so that we could document
Okay.
the culture over the years.
Right,
That's why
right.
we have events, you know what I mean? The way we do.
Yeah.
But when it comes to proud moments now, seeing kids that I used to give flyers to
Yeah.
back maybe 07, 08, 09.
I got a moon machine.
No. Like, best example, 2010, Don Roller that you know now
Yeah.
was 14 years old.
Kodie, why you keep
Ah.
doing that and try to show people
Right?
all I'll be back?
Don Roller, 14 years old, came to Wadadley Honda Day at the stadium with a lilac colored EG hatch that he painted himself at 14.
Crazy.
That man just out of this world at that particular time. And me said, yo, this man,
Yeah.
me say that no. You still say, this man, I gotta be something in this community if he had that kind of passion
At
at
14.
age 14. Right? We're done rolling there for today.
Facts.
Let that sink in. We call that since 2010. This is 2023.
Alright, maybe I'll have to reconsider the God.
No.
Maybe
Right?
I'll have to reconsider the God type.
Dan Roller himself can tell you. Yo,
Even at Antigua Streetz.
yo, trust me. Like, those kind of moments, those are proud moments. Just to
Nice.
like
And it-
see
And
that.
inspire next generation.
You know what I mean? Just to see that.
Rightfully so.
Yo,
Deep.
it's deep. And now Dan Roller now has motivated so much others for today.
Yo, but your name transcend generations, bro.
It does.
But tell you no, your name still like yo. Let me give you so much facts, right? My nephew in the 5th form, the grammar school, bro. You listen to me?
Oh Lord.
Yeah, the day I'm gonna check my niece, and I'm gonna talk about car, and your name get mentioned, Antigua Street get mentioned. I'm like, whoa. And that's not even at grammar school. Like they country on the block, no, bro. So come on, man.
Yo,
So maybe the goat when
love,
it comes to that part, yeah.
the love is real.
Yeah.
Like going outside here in Antigua, of course, it's home. Antigua Streetz is homegrown. As I said, Antigua Streetz is the network, and the network is everybody.
Facts.
So the love from home will always be A plus 100.
Right.
Seeing that love in other islands, and also while in the US as well, where people are like, yo, you know, good coverage or whatever. Yeah, well, I'm trying to come to Little Tokyo next year. Or, yo, see all the hype legendary drags be because I follow Antigua Streetz, and yo, we need to be there. And yo, I heard that you got, I'm like, yo, but I mean, this is the age of information.
That's true.
That just shows you how easy it is to use motorsports, cars, bikes as a tool.
Yeah.
As a driving tourism product. This legendary drags now, like 2 or 3 different American Airlines flights. Ram of people just to watch racing in the country for the first time.
Nice.
Government.
Yeah, boy.
Hey,
Yeah, listen.
whoa. Me not know where.
No, listen, right?
Serious.
And I'm just touching on one topic. So a guy came up from Trinidad, right? He wanted to see Helter Skelter and stuff like that because he did that repost from TikTok.
Yeah.
On everybody saw that.
Yeah.
He went to the rally track.
Okay, up crabs.
Up Crabs, right?
Yeah.
When he went to Crabs, man amazed. The man was amazed. Man came there and went for a pull and so on. And of course, I'm talking about Don Rolat being age 14. My first experience at the rally track came from Sandrine's son.
Oh, Nico.
Nico.
Yeah, likewise.
My very first experience came from Nico.
Likewise. Nico, the first one to take me around. Yeah. In the blue Subi.
In the blue Subi. And
So
again,
the Sandrine.
I was able to see raw talent from young. And again, we could just already tell
we
if he's that gifted that early, what gonna happen with, 6 more years experience of driving on that.
Facts. If that long.
If that long.
Now I gotta tell I look watch out for next year.
If that long. For real.
Yeah, man, definitely impressed.
But before we wrap up, recently you went to Nevis, right?
Yeah.
How was that experience? I saw it was like the reception was good.
No, Nevis crazy, man.
Yeah.
Nevis, big shout out to Dan and the entire Nevis SKN. So I think it's a Nevis association.
Yeah, because you went live and I saw like, yo, the banter and how everybody go back and forth and so on.
Yeah, that's what we like. That's our kind of vibe. That's our culture. We don't want you to just be there and it's war time racing. Yeah.
Put on down on the track last who
and guess what? Everybody that visits the island, trust me, they have all been to a track that is better.
Yeah.
With everything, faster cars. But somehow, being here in our setting, our audience,
I create the atmosphere and a vibe.
The atmosphere is just so different that they have no words to it. The only thing they tell you is, I got to be back here.
Because what's funny about Antigua, because I've seen like drag racing online and like the tension real and people.
No, the tension real, man.
But in Antigua the tension still there, but after man comes like
no fighting.
Right. It just
no violence.
It's just like people just accept the last.
Legit
next time
racing.
Facts. Knock on wood. For real.
Yeah.
Everybody support. Everybody come and see what I'm going. Everybody.
I lost $40 on a live feed last night, right?
Your body, you come here and talk. Your body for real. Your body.
2 different $20 race, right? And the live feed about murder them and let me know, hey, You give up the betting business.
That you sad.
I mean, let it know this is just our culture. I'm right by the fence. Like in the live, somebody say, come by the fence. 20 on the red. I say, come by the fence. Just put up your hand, let me see. Wait it. Yeah. No, trust me.
Nah, the culture different.
Yeah, but
Kodie,
and another something for a long time too, even from as me remember, Janai. Let me ask you the question. Janai or North Zone?
No, that's a tough question.
All right, I'll leave that one for the next
That's
one.
a tough question. Watching it as a fan in the hill,
Yeah, indifferent.
the experience from Janai, second to none. It can't be compared to North Zone at no time. Because your vantage point at Janai was totally different.
You see, they try to recreate it at North Zone, but
they're trying.
Difficult.
Again, that's what we have to work with.
Fine.
So
Which is
we're
fine.
just going to be working with it until they can do better.
I think just the ruggedness about Jana, I mean, it just.
And not just that, no, back then, the kind of tension we got when they hear, you bring what he said.
Yeah. No, real something.
When they hear them kind of things, they'll go up different now.
Can you imagine what our videos and so on would look like now in today's world if we were able to drone and record from Janai? Yo.
Baby.
No, sick. No.
Different level, me tell you.
But now, let me raise another point.
Yeah.
8-7 was one of the fastest passes we've seen at Janai.
Yeah.
That would be the Nova.
Right.
The Nova? No, Hurricane Vega.
Okay, the Vega.
It was a Nova, but they called it Hurricane Vega. And that was 8-7, right? We just witnessed an all-wheel drive Civic run 8-8. Then we just witnessed Helter Skelter run 8-8.
Yeah.
And then we witnessed Gladiator run 9-1.
Yes.
True.
There was no time at all in your mind that you would ever
see a car go
think
so fast.
that
In Antigua.
at all, that you would
That's
think
true.
that a Civic would give Hurricane Vega a run. Like,
When
you think about Hurricane Vega, you think Outlaw automatically.
Yeah, that's true.
No, right now, when you think about Outlaw, you have a start wonder about
Anything.
a 5-7 or so on them, 5-7, 5-6 them on a run to the 1-8 as well.
Yeah, that's true.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, tuning and power and everything up on a different level.
And technology has grown.
Yeah.
What we are missing, and of course, these are all different podcasts, stories for another time.
Yeah.
Iceman, the Polar Bear, and the Celica.
Yeah.
Like, you growing up and knowing those cars are still in one piece and they still exist. I hear Bryce is going to let Jason Marsh and Jerome Marsh take over the Spirit project. If that is true as well, that would be epic.
True.
To have the Spirit back out.
Generations passing.
Same thing.
I'm playing take care about the place. This guy tell us it
if you were to
Chief wrong, yeah.
Yeah. Chief is another person you would like, but as long as you have all your questions structured correctly for the Chief, the Chief is another great person to have on record.
Yeah.
Although he doesn't look like it, the Chief has some experiments over there that he did donkey years ago that are now coming on supercars today.
True. Yeah, man. You know much time me get up on Saturday morning, nothing all I want to, and Chief car over there start a broke morning.
Yeah, Chief brain work different. He have the ideas. Trust me. The whole different podcast episode to be done over there.
Nah, I have to do a documentary, man.
Entire documentary.
Serious.
Yeah.
But Kodie, again, it was only right that we have you as our first guest.
You don't know.
I mean, the podcast catapulted after
Little Tokyo.
After Antigua Streetz, Little Tokyo. So it's only right that we have you as our first guest. Bless up the place.
And big shout out to Nick Lou.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Nation.
boy.
Facts.
Nick Luke, yeah, on show.
Yeah,
How
that's
far
true,
away?
that's
Yeah,
true, that's true,
big,
that's
big,
true,
big
that's
shout
true,
out to
that's
Nick
true,
Lou.
That's true.
Brother from another mother, we call it the double dragon. When we go to another country and just build a vibe and turn up the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? So big shout out to Nick Lou.
Nice, man.
Again, it's all about networking, and that's all the only way we would all grow.
Well, you said something very important because at first, as I said, to what we would like to see the culture doing, how we like to see the culture in Antigua. We know there are hurdles to jump, but we are enthusiastic about doing it. And then after having a conversation with you and seeing that you had the same passion and the hurdles that you had to jump through, it was kind of, like, man, should we take up this? But you said, again, whatever door I didn't get through, you might get through, or whoever comes
That's correct.
passing
That's
behind
true.
us
Yeah.
might get through that door. So it's just to keep pushing out the door, and hopefully that motorsports in Antigua get the recognition and the support they deserve, and a different avenue to bring,
Yeah.
revenue and awareness to the island as well.
The day anybody realize that just a little more
Oomph.
could go such a long
Yeah,
way,
boy.
right?
Yeah.
It's not funny. And I know I heard the plans for next year
Yeah.
for the rally track.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I've heard the plans.
And
I got something to come up on the podcast soon. Stay tuned.
so,
Me know you talk about, so you can't.
Like,
you know you talk about.
no, me tell you, like, in little, when you ask yourself, in Antigua,
In Antigua.
and they just like,
In Antigua. Plans.
268,
Some plans have been approved and some things are going down.
268, no, bro.
like,
108 square miles, no.
man,
As you blink around the island 2 times.
At the greatest 108 square miles ever was.
At the greatest island and country in the world, bro.
well, I go say this all the time.
That's
Just-
why Antigua start with First letter in the alphabet, bro. You couldn't start with nothing else. And then Barbuda does B, I just want Antigua.
First and
just,
second.
Yeah. Of course,
Places are long gone.
big shout out to Hundadley being the first ever to do anything automotive over at Barbuda.
Facts.
True.
They kicked down the doors with that.
Remember that.
Facts.
I definitely like
That's
us
and
to
that's a
do
risk,
something
eh?
over there as well.
That's
That's
a risk. If
a
you
big
put your
risk.
cap on a barge and
Big
that,
risk.
what
Yeah,
happen,
yeah.
and-
I definitely, you know what I mean? Because it's perfect to just get the action going.
Facts.
Plenty things.
Plenty. There's so much to do that has not been done yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
And we will continue to try and do once we're on the face of the earth. Again, I
Basically.
take your words into consideration because, we again, 2 better than 1, eh?
and 3 better than 4, 4 better than 3. Sorry,
We have better. But bro, thanks
Yeah.
for coming through.
I don't know.
Antigua Streetz. No, give you a plug. I mean, you don't need no introduction, but I mean, you never know.
No,
connections.
you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
Like, listen to me, right? If you're not following Antigua Streetz, and Streets ends with a Z,
Facts.
make sure you go on Facebook. Make sure you go on Instagram. Make sure you go on TikTok. You name it. And of course, make sure do the same. And follow the Displacement Podcast. This is what we love. This is what we do. And as long as you are following those pages, you're guaranteed content from the lovely 268 from all angles. And
again,
look forward to the support.
And again, Kodie, we have the equipment. So what I think we need to do is we need to collaborate more as well too.
I agree.
The forums, I think we all need to be in a forum and just like at least once or twice a week, just have an open forum people can log in and have conversation. Again, our studio is mobile, so hopefully one of the tension Tuesdays I can go up there.
Yes.
Definitely.
Get some interviews.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you never know. Like, imagine having an interview with a personal best,
Facts.
a first time.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Capturing tuners that never get the spotlight.
Facts.
There's so much content to be explored that, man,
Yeah. I'll get for hours, days, weeks.
like me tell you,
You know what-
we basically just went from 06, 07
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then spoke about this year.
I'll just touch off.
And you
We just, like,
yo, that decade.
we just
Yo,
did
that's
this.
crazy.
I'll just touch
Yeah.
off.
We didn't dig,
Yeah.
That's true.
you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
But to be honest, our dream is to hopefully that this will become full time. You understand? Like,
That's our intention.
just go
Yeah.
around and just.
I mean, it's
from the
not
drive-
impossible.
No, it's not. But it requires support and
And of course, yeah. And
proper networking and proper scheduling. And all
Can
these
happen,
things.
man.
But that's the goal, to be honest.
yeah, I share the same passion as you. So I understand.
But Kodie, again, thanks for touching Displacement Podcast.
Yeah.
Not only our first guest in the studio. Oh no, It'll be our second interview, I guess, because you did an interview with Sandrine. But again, two legends as well too. So not only
Big up Sandrine.
facts.
Yeah.
But Kodie, thanks again for coming too.
Yep.
And again, I'll have to do this again, right?
Definitely.
This is Displacement Podcast, Antigua Streetz, Kodie.
Oh.
We out.
Yep.
Yeah.